All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're breaking down 17 hard-won life lessons specifically for young men. And look, this isn't just a list of tips. Think of it more like a blueprint, a real roadmap designed to help you skip years of struggle and start building a life with purpose, like right now.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if you could get all the wisdom without having to collect all the scars along the way? That's the big idea here. We're about to unpack a framework that gives you a massive head start just by learning from the trials and errors of those who've already walked the path.
So, we've broken all this down into 4 key pillars. First, we're going to cover the long game mindset. Then, we'll dive into forging unbreakable character. After that, it's all about mastering your relationships, and we'll wrap it all up with building your foundation, the practical stuff that holds everything together.
Okay, first up, and honestly, this might be the most important part, the long game mindset. Before you even think about moving fast, you've got to have the right perspective. It's all about putting strategy before speed.
So, lesson number 1 is absolutely crucial. You have to extend your timeline. Society is constantly selling this idea of a 2-year rush to success. But let's be real, that path almost always leads to burnout and taking sketchy shortcuts. The real, sustainable path to wealth and, more importantly, wisdom, it's a 10-year build. Give yourself a decade, seriously.
Now, this is especially huge if you're in your teens. The advice here is to stop chasing some grand, unchanging purpose. Don't just sit around waiting for lightning to strike. Instead, get busy building practical, high-value skills. You'll find that purpose usually finds you once you've become competent at something that matters.
And hey, here's a critical reminder for you. Don't forget to actually enjoy the process. Yeah, the grind, the struggle, those years when you're building from absolute scratch, those are the years that are going to forge you. Trust me, they'll end up being the stories and memories you look back on most fondly.
All right, let's shift gears to our second pillar, forging unbreakable character. This is all about your internal foundation. It's about who you are when nobody's watching, when there's no applause, no likes, no nothing.
This one is simple but powerful. Your reliability is basically your currency in life. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. Period. Every single promise you keep, no matter how small it seems, builds a rock-solid reputation of trust and respect that you just can't buy. It's the absolute bedrock of your character.
Now, this might sound a little backward at first, but it is so powerful. Learning to say no to distractions, to opportunities that don't really line up with your goals is one of the most important skills you can ever develop. It's how you protect your focus and, ultimately, your future.
And this right here, this is your path to taking control of your life. It's about radical ownership. You take ownership of everything, the good and the bad. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about empowering yourself. When you acknowledge your role in a situation, you gain the power to create a solution, and then go execute, with no excuses.
And the source material also really highlights the need for an anchor. Life is going to get turbulent. It's going to get stormy. Whether you call it faith or spirituality or a connection with a creator, having something greater than yourself is what keeps you grounded when the waves get high.
Okay, let's move on to our third section, mastering your relationships. We've talked about your internal world, your character. Now let's get into how you actually engage with the world around you.
The source lays out a pretty clear standard of conduct here, called the Gentleman's Code. Simple stuff, really, but it matters. Always pay for the date. Make sure she has safe transport. Just act responsibly. And that last point is key. If you can't afford to do these things, your focus shouldn't be on dating, it should be on your work, until you can.
And here is a simple but profound equation for you. Strong boundaries equals strong respect. Boundaries aren't walls you build to keep people out. They're clear lines you draw that teach people how to treat you with respect. It's the absolute foundation for any healthy relationship. All right, let's bring it home with our final section. This is where it all comes together in the real world, building your foundation. Think of this as the practical toolkit for your money, your fitness, and how you present yourself.
When we're talking about investing, the advice is simple. Start now. Right now. Even if it's just something small, like $10 a week. Look, the point isn't to get rich overnight. The point is to build the lifelong habit of financial discipline. That's the real win.
This chart shows it all. Don't waste your precious time chasing short-term fads that'll be gone next year. Instead, pour your energy into timeless, high-income skills, things like sales or copywriting. These are assets that will pay you back for your entire career.
And yeah, how you present yourself matters. The advice is pretty straightforward. Avoid the big, flashy labels and super tight clothes. Instead, just focus on the fundamentals: classic pieces, quality fabrics, and, most importantly, get your clothes tailored. A good fit makes all the difference.
Okay, a quick but really vital point on fitness. Your body has a natural superpower when you're young. Your teens and your early 20s are the absolute prime years to build a strong physical foundation. Use that advantage. It'll serve you for the rest of your life.
So, let's just bring it all together. This is the blueprint. It all starts with a long-term 10-year vision. That vision is supported by an unbreakable character. It's guided by respectful relationships, and it's built on a practical foundation of skills, finances, and health.
So in the end, we've laid out the entire blueprint. The plans are right here on the table. The only question left is, what are you going to choose to build with it? The power and the responsibility is all yours.